The James Webb Space Telescope was supposed to confirm what we already knew about the universe, but instead it found something that should not be there at all. In the earliest snapshots of cosmic history, just a few 100 million years after everything began, JWST is spotting galaxies that look fully grown. Massive, bright, mature. They are showing up long before the universe should have time to build anything this big. According to our best models, these galaxies are impossible. They simply shouldn't exist. And yet, they are everywhere Webb looks. This is not a small mistake and not a rounding error. This is a full-blown cosmology crisis. Because if these galaxies are real, then our entire timeline of the universe might be out of order. Today, we are going to explore the discovery that has scientists stunned, theories shaken, and the universe itself refusing to behave. The early universe should look simple. Small clouds of gas, a few newborn stars, tiny, awkward galaxies that barely know what they're doing. This is the picture science has trusted for decades. A young universe is supposed to be a quiet place. Calm, slow, still figuring itself out. But JWST is showing us something completely different. When it looked back at the universe just after its beginning, it didn't find tiny galaxies struggling to form. It found giants, fully developed structures with enormous amounts of mass. Galaxies that shine brighter than they should. Galaxies that look like they belong billions of years later, not at a cosmic starting line. This should be impossible. To build a galaxy, you need time. You need stars to form, you need them to cluster. You need gravity to sculpt everything into something stable. That process takes ages. You can't fast forward it. Yet these early galaxies seem to have done exactly that. They appear as if someone hit the skip button on the universe. And the strangest part is that this is not just one galaxy or two. Webb is finding them again and again, almost as if the universe is quietly admitting that our models have been wrong this entire time. Scientists expected the telescope to bring clarity. Instead, it brought questions. Big questions. The kind that keeps cosmologists awake at night. Because if these galaxies truly formed this early, then something about our understanding of the universe is badly off. And this mystery is only getting deeper, because the more you look at these galaxies, the more they break the rule. So why is everyone calling these galaxies impossible? What exactly makes them such a big deal? It comes down to one thing: time. The universe just didn't have enough of it. When we look at these galaxies, we are seeing them at the moment only a few 100 million years after the beginning. Now, that sounds like a long time, but in cosmic terms, it's nothing. This is the part of the story where stars are supposed to be forming slowly, gathering into small groups and creating tiny, messy galaxies barely held together. Instead, JWST is showing galaxies that are already well built. They contain hundreds of billions of stars, some even show signs of rotation and structure. That shouldn't be possible this early. To get that much mass, you need countless generations of stars to form and die. You need gravity to pull material together. You need merging events, you need chaos and collisions. And all of that takes ages. But these galaxies look like they rushed through the process in record time. It's like the universe handed them a cheat code and said, go ahead, finish early. Except we don't know about any cheat codes. There is no physical mechanism in our current models that can explain this level of fast growth. Scientists have tried to make the numbers work. They have stretched the models, tweaked the math, and even questioned the instruments. But every time they try to explain these galaxies away, the data pushes back. These galaxies shouldn't exist. But yet they do. And that leaves us with a choice. Either the galaxies are wrong, or the models are wrong. And trust me, the galaxies are not wrong. Because JWST didn't just find one of these. It found so many that scientists started to panic. And that leads us to the real shock. When the first JWST images came in, scientists expected a few surprises. That's normal. New telescopes always shake things up a little. But what JWST delivered was not a little shake. It was a cosmic earthquake. Because the galaxies it found were not just early, they were enormous. Take Glass Z13 for example. This galaxy appeared only about 300 million years after the Big Bang. 300 million. And it already had the mass of a modern galaxy. That alone sent shockwaves through the astronomy community. A galaxy that big, that early, just shouldn't be possible. Then came CEERS 1749, another early galaxy. This one looked even brighter, even more mature, and just as confusing. And right when researchers were still trying to make sense of that, JWST revealed something even stranger. A galaxy known as Maisie's galaxy. It sits at a redshift of around 11, which means it existed when the universe was still in its cosmic baby phase. Yet it is far more luminous than any model predicted. It's not a tiny newborn galaxy, it's a full-blown overachiever. And these aren't isolated discoveries. JWST is finding dozens of these high redshift giants. Everywhere it looks, it seems galaxies that grew too fast, too soon, and too big. If there had only been one or two of them, we could blame it on a lucky find. But when the universe keeps handing you the same contradiction over and over again, it stops being luck. It becomes a pattern. A pattern that the current laws of cosmology simply can't explain. And this is where things get even more uncomfortable. Because these galaxies don't just break the rules, they threaten the entire timeline of the Big Bang. Now, here is where the problem goes from strange to serious. These galaxies don't just grow too fast. They grow so fast that they start to mess with the entire timeline of the universe. According to the standard model, the universe began hot, tiny, and extremely simple. For the first few 100 million years, everything should have been slow and quiet. Stars forming, small clusters merging, nothing dramatic and nothing complex. But the galaxies JWST is finding are not part of that slow build. They are skipping steps. They appear fully formed long before the timeline says they should even exist. And if galaxies are showing up this early, it means the universe became structured far sooner than we predicted. That immediately puts pressure on one of the most important parts of cosmology, cosmic expansion. Because if the universe expanded the way we think it did, there simply wasn't enough time to create galaxies this big. The numbers don't line up. The formation rates do not line up either. And the physics definitely doesn't line up. This also impacts star formation. Our models say early stars should be rare and dim. JWST is showing stars that are bright, common, and forming like they are late for an appointment. Then there is inflation. That's the theory that says the universe expanded faster than light right after the beginning. But if galaxies formed this early, inflation may not have worked the way we thought. Or it might have happened differently. Or it might need an entirely new explanation. And let's not forget the biggest puzzle of all, the Hubble tension, the ongoing disagreement about how fast the universe is expanding. These early galaxies made the tension worse, not better. In other words, JWST didn't just find odd galaxies. It found a direct challenge to how we think the universe grew. But before we throw out the entire textbook, scientists came up with few possible explanations, and some of them are wild. When something this strange shows up in astronomy, scientists do what they always do. They start looking for explanations. Some are sensible, some are bold, and some feel like the universe is just messing with us. The simplest idea is that we are misidentifying these galaxies. Maybe they aren't as massive as they look. Maybe dust or bright star clusters are tricking the instruments. But this explanation has a problem. JWST is too precise. It collects more precise data than anything we ever built. And it's finding these galaxies in different regions, at different angles, and in different observations. If this was an error, we would expect it to disappear. Instead, the pattern keeps getting stronger. Then there is the possibility that dark matter behaved differently in the early universe. Dark matter is the invisible stuff that holds galaxies together. If it clumped faster back then, it might have created deeper gravitational wells that pulled gas in quicker. That could speed up galaxy formation, and it's a solid idea. But it still doesn't fully explain how something the size of a modern galaxy appears so early. Another theory is that star formation was far more chaotic and explosive than our models predict. Maybe the first stars were monsters, hot, huge, and incredibly fast burning. If early stars were powerful enough, they could build galaxies at lightning speeds. But again, this alone doesn't explain the mass we are seeing. Which brings us to the boldest idea. The universe might be older than we think, or expanding differently, or following physics we haven't discovered yet. None of these options are proven, but they are on the table now because the galaxies we see in leave us no choice. And that brings us to the biggest question of all. What does this crisis actually mean for the universe we thought we understood? What does all of this actually mean? Are we watching cosmology fall apart? Is the universe broken? Or is something much bigger happening here? The answer is simpler than you may think, and also much more exciting. The universe isn't failing the models are failing the universe. For years, astronomers worked with a timeline that seemed solid. A beginning, a rapid expansion, a slow build towards structure. It was neat, it was tidy, it was comfortable. But the universe has never cared about our comfort. It behaves the way it behaves, and now that we finally have a telescope powerful enough to see the truth, we are finding cracks in the story we've been telling for decades. These early galaxies are not mistakes. They are signals. They are reminders that the universe is more chaotic, more creative, and far stranger than our equations predicted. They are showing us that galaxy formation may start earlier, grow faster, and follow rules we haven't written yet. And that is the exciting part. This isn't a crisis, it's a turning point. Every major leap in astronomy started with something that didn't fit the model. Stars that moved too fast, light that bent when it shouldn't, galaxies that rotated in ways that didn't make sense. Each time, those oddities forced us to improve our understanding, and each time the universe became more fascinating. These impossible galaxies are the next step in that tradition. They are pointing toward a deeper truth, one we haven't reached yet, one JWST is just beginning to reveal. And if you think this discovery is big, the next few might be even bigger. The James Webb Space Telescope was built to show us the universe with more clarity than ever before. But instead of confirming our theories, it's exposing their limits. These early massive galaxies aren't errors. They aren't glitches. They are evidence that the universe grew faster and stranger than we expected. And that's not a failure of science. That's the process. Every breakthrough in astronomy begins with a moment like this. Something that shouldn't be there. Something that forces us to rethink everything we thought we knew. The universe is not falling apart. It's opening up. And the more JWST looks, the more surprises it finds. If these galaxies are any indication, we are standing at the edge of a new chapter in cosmology. One that might change our timeline, our models, and maybe even our place in the story. And this is just the beginning. Thank you for watching. Keep looking up.